Hello again, everybody. This is Derek from ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com. Yes, that's ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com. That's your website where you can go to get all your airsoft supplies and needs. Today we are going to do a review on the quad rail for the M4 that I have available at ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com. I have a quad rail here. This quad rail is from XTS. It's an XTS quad rail. It is all metal, and I will show you how to attach it and take it off, put it on, and some of the cool features about it. All right, well, let's start off by saying that it is Picatinny rail style. It is all on all four sides. It does come with rail covers, very similar to these rail covers that you would just pop right on your rail. The ones it comes with are black. I have recently exchanged those in and got me some dark earth rail covers, but it does come with black rail covers because sometimes these rails dig into your hand. If you don't have a grip like a vertical grip and you're just going to grab your rail like this, sometimes that hurts your hands. So a lot of guys put these rail covers on, like me. I'm not a fan of vertical grips. That's just me. Okay. I love my rail system mainly so that I can put a PEC box up in my front of my gun along with any kind of flashlights, lasers, gun cameras, anything like that that I need to mount. I can mount it directly to my quad rail system. Okay, how do you put this on? I had somebody ask me on YouTube how you actually add a quad rail, and that's what sparked this video. All right, so first thing you need to know is it is too small for a battery to fit inside, okay? If your gun is wired to the front, you would not be able to put a battery inside this rail. This rail is a real steel rail, so it is not designed to have a battery put inside of it. It is designed to be used on a real M4. Okay, so, okay, another thing. When you look at the rail, and I'm going to show you up close. All right, ladies and gents, when you take a look at this rail, you'll notice that it has numbers that go from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Basically, that is showing you the number, and it's done every other one, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way down. That's way, if you mount something to it, like some kind of optic, and you take it off and you want to put it back on the exact same spot, you'll know. Like I normally mount it on the 6. So if I mount it on the 6, you might mount it on the 8 or whatever. When I take something off, I go, okay, when I put it back on, I'm going to look for the number 6, and I'm going to put it on the number 6. That only really will matter with your optics. Anything that you have to zero. A flashlight, whatever, put it anywhere you want it. But let's say you've got a red dot scope and you want to put it on the top and you want to take it off, make sure you put it back in the same spot. That way you get the same eye relief, same sight picture that you always get. All right, well, in a previous video I already removed my Tamiya plug end with my Tamiya plug removal tool, and since I've done that, it's going to be easy for me to get the wires through these holes. These holes here are not large enough for a plug to get through. You will either need to drill it out, which I don't recommend because it is extremely sturdy metal, or run your wires through the holes and then reattach your plug, or have a gun that's wired to the rear. Okay, that's just a bunch of different options that you can use. The female Tamiya plug will slide through this. The male Tamiya plug will not, and that's primarily because the male Tamiya plug has this little catch, this little latch that holds it together. So how do you take this apart? Super simple. On the top of the rail, there are a number of 4 holes for screws, okay? And all you do is take your little Allen wrench that comes with the rail set and you unscrew it. I hope this is pretty easy. There are 4. I've been using this like this. Now I'm taking this apart mainly just for this video so that others can learn. 1 screw. 2 screws. 3. I do believe that screw is unscrewed. There it is. So all 4 screws are out. Now, what's holding this thing in place? Well, it isn't. It's tucked inside of the delta ring right here. And all I have to do is pull it apart at the top. Let's zoom out so you can kind of see what's going on. There you go. All I have to do is pull it apart from the bottom and the top and slide it out from the delta ring. Super simple. Okay, and if I wanted to go ahead and reattach my standard M4 grips, I could. There was no modifications needed to be made on the delta ring or anything in the front ring. No other rings had any modifications to them. What's going on? Why is this? It's crooked. That's why. Okay. Put that back on straight. Okay, and then now as you see, I have my standard M4 hand grips on there. So let's say that you start with this and you need to put the rail system on. Well, naturally you take these off and store them in a safe place because you never know, you might want to go back to just regular hand grips. You'll notice that one of the rails, it's a top and bottom system. One of the rails has a deep groove on the top and this one does not. The deep groove is for your gas tube, okay? So this one is going to go on like that, and you'll notice that on the rail system there is a beveled end right here. It's kind of slowly slanted inwards, and this will catch in your delta ring. The other side is just perfectly round, but on the inside there's a little groove that would catch on your front ring right here, allowing it to apply pressure. Okay, here I go. Now when I put this back on, I have to understand that this is a fused wire, and this fuse needs to be tucked in just right to fit. I also need to get these power lines out so that it will plug into my PEC box. I slide it into my delta ring right there. I put a little bit of downward pressure and allow it to snap onto the ring up front. Now it'll stay there just by itself. I mean, it's not sturdy. It could fall off with the slightest little wiggle. So I put the bottom piece in, do the same thing, a little downward pressure, and let the top pop in. There, it's popped in. Now, is this good to go? Yeah, the wires are coming out right there, which is fine because they'll go into my PEC box. Do I care if it comes out of the right or the left? No, not really, because my PEC box is going to be right there in the middle. It's no big deal. Okay, so now I need, so that this doesn't keep coming apart, screw them together. Simple enough, huh? There goes the screws. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you screw these back down. You don't have to go extremely tight. This is only airsoft. If you want to use a little blue Loctite on there so they don't come undone, that's cool too. Now on some rail systems, you'll see where it says T1, T3, T5 or whatever, just like that. And then on the right side, you'll see R12 or whatever, and on the left, you'll see L, and on the bottom, you'll see B. Do you really need to know that it's the bottom? Do you really need to know that it's the top? I mean, you don't need that on your rail. Now on your card, where you tell yourself, well, I put it on the bottom 3 or the right 4 or whatever, sure, just put right 4. But do you need to know that this is the right side of my gun? Well, no. Unless you have a problem with the, identifying left from right. Okay. It is back on. That rail is good to go. Now all I need to do is replace the Tamiya plug, and I'm ready for a PEC box and good to go. Alright, so now my M4 has a rail system on it, and that you can go to town with your PEC box, laser, flashlight, front grip, however you want to go. Alright, I hope it was informative, and you can always get one of these rails at screamingeagleairsoft.com. And remember guys, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel and be sure to like us at Google+. And if you're still with Facebook, go ahead and look us up on Facebook. And thanks for coming out and checking out this video. And remember guys, whenever you're on the airsoft field, play safe.